Okay, third time's a charm. So, so I created this folder. I don't know when, but you want to create a folder, subfolder for yourself for your camp, like San Diego and virtual, you can do that. There's a couple things here. I've already done a few things. I made a copy of the Tech Trek TT certificate.docs. You can do that, make a copy. When I made the copy, I renamed it Camp A so I can show you what happens. There is a folder called TT Cert. I'm going to delete these, by the way, in after I finish so that you don't get confused when you go look. I'm going to call my Camp A. There's a TT certificate PowerPoint in there, a slide. It's a single slide, and it's called TT Certificate 2025. You want to make a copy of that. That's or you can make a copy of the generic one. It doesn't matter. And then you're going to go in and edit and make a copy of it. I called Certificate 2025-Camp A. And so let's just quickly look at that. And so that's a document. It actually should have some things up there here that say merge field, etc. But I've already removed them from mine, so they're in the original. And this should have where you're going to have the name. You're going to have the branch name here. You can edit this portion here. So I edited it. You can call yours whatever you want at Hopper, Santa Clara, or Whittier, or whatever you want here at Whittier College. Put your name in. You need to insert. You need to find a file that is a signature file for yourself, or create one using whatever you want. You can use a different font. Mine obviously is just a font change. Then put your name underneath it, so you should be able to edit. The problem is you're going to have to move that in order to get to the bottom to edit it, make all those changes. Once it's the way that you like it, now what you're going to do is go ahead and download that as a JPEG or a PNG file. You can also do scalable vector graphics, but I just use PNG files. So download it as a PNG file. It's going to go into your download folder. Okay. Once that's done, go ahead and close this out. You need to make sure that you have created at some point some kind of a file, a spreadsheet that has first name, last name, and branch name. In this one, we also have core class because we give the people who did robotics, they get the robotic certificate, and you'll go through the same process for that. But that's the only reason we have the core class in. Normally, we just need these three fields. So create that Excel spreadsheet. Make sure you have it. That's in the San Diego one. So now you have downloaded the PowerPoint. You've got a spreadsheet created. And we need to create the merge document. So you would start with this TT certificate document. And if you look at it, all it's got in the middle is the merge fields. It doesn't have anything around it, but this is your basic document that you're going to be using for your certificates. So what you want to do is go ahead and create a copy for yourself. Call it whatever you want to call it, Tech Trek Certificate Camp A document, and download that one too. So now I have my spreadsheet. I have a PNG or some kind of an image file that I'm going to put on the document itself, the certificate, and I have a Word document for creating the mail merge. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open when I am down at my computer. Oh, let me close this. Don't save. So you can see. I'll go ahead and find my downloads, find the whatever I down. Okay, I downloaded both the TT certificate and the Camp A doc. I'm going to go ahead and open Camp A doc. I already created it. So let me try this again. See if I've got another Campbell doc. So this is what it's going to look like when you open it, right? So merge field, and this is just to tell you where these fields are going to be, so that it's a placeholder. Insert the merge field information. So I'm going to go ahead at this point. I'm going to insert my background. And so you're going to insert a picture from the device because you just downloaded it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and insert. Here it is. And so first thing you want to do is make sure that you have this through, right? So that you can see it. You want it behind the text, right? Because you want to be able to see your text. So go ahead and make sure that that's through first. Otherwise, it's going to push everything to the other page. The other way that you can do that is to here say send to back. So it's now in the back of the page. Then you want to go ahead and you want to, this will enable you to move this around a little bit by making it through. That means you can move it slightly. And you're always going to have a margin of print error. So you want to make sure it's centered as well as possible. And that these merge fields on the top here are visible, right? So you want to make sure that they're visible. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to create our merge document. And I'm going to move these down just a little bit because they look a little high, but there. So, and you can do the same thing. You can edit what you need, but everything that was in the background is now on the background on your spreadsheet. So now what we want to do is start with our spreadsheet. And so you have created a spreadsheet. You want to use an existing list. You need to go find that list wherever you put it. And mine is still in downloads, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. And so I'm going to go ahead and say open, and I want it to pick the first one. You might have multiple tabs, and so if you're doing something for step, you want to make sure you pick the right tab. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is this thing up here. You need to create a text field, a text box in order to insert the merge fields. So I'm going to go ahead, and again, this was just a placeholder to show you where it was. If you want to edit you can edit your fonts at any point in time here. You can pick different fonts if you want that and play with it, do what you want to do with it. And then you're going to go in here and you're going to go ahead and just remove you're going to AAUW, insert field branch name. And then what you're going to want to put here is AAUW. You can either say AAUW and put branch here, which will be the text that will show up with the name. And the way that you can check if this worked properly, preview results. It shows you what it's going to say. And it looks like, did I put 2 spaces in there maybe? So I might have put 2 spaces. This is a place you want to check and make sure that everything looks good. For those people that have long names, you want to make sure that your thing here is long enough to pick up, that your text box is long enough to pick it all up. Okay, so I've finished this. Now I'm going to go ahead and what I have to do, and you can look through each of them if you know you have results. Okay, so finish and merge. No, all. I'm going to go ahead and merge it to my PDF. It's going to ask, where do you want to save them? I'm going to go ahead and save them there. Yep, I want to replace it. Okay, must have been opened there. So sometimes it takes a while and it opens, but I'm going to go ahead and save it, resave it. I think probably what happened, it did it the first time because it was doing way more than I wanted it to do. So mine opens in the PDF. You can see here. I don't know that Yeah, these were not in alpha order or branch order. I'm going to have to reset that. Let me undo that. And I just want to make sure I don't have a bunch of blanks at the end. Okay, so this is an alpha order. So that would be a good thing to do, just to say alpha order on it if you're going to save it. The Let's go back to the Word document. And I'm going to go ahead and reset it. And you can do this here by going in and just resetting clicking on branch name, and now it should be in branch order. So at the beginning, the first one is this one, Beach Cities, and I'm going to go ahead and say merge. Now I'm going to call it something different so that I know the difference. So it's Adobe PDF. It's going to prompt me. This is Camp A by branch. And that way you can then break them into separate documents for each branch. And the way I would do that, I go into organize pages. You probably don't have this feature, but I do. So I just need to make sure that it's a little bit bigger. PDF Maker will do the same thing so I can see which branches are where. So it looks like Beach Cities goes all the way to here. So if I wanted to say Beach Cities, I'd say give me an extract. Extract these. No, I don't want to delete the pages. We're just going to extract them. And now I'm going to say File. Save As. Go back to my certificates folder. And I'm going to say TT Certificate Beach Cities. And that way I have all of the beach cities in one file, etc., etc. So hopefully that will help you.